Welcome to Shamrock Reddit Stories, Entitled People, where an entitled able-bodied wife of a big box store manager tries to use her association to her husband to gain priority over a disabled person to use the motorized mobility cart to shop. This one is from Burning My Bridges 72, and it's called, Apparently My Friend Owns an Entire City. This is a throwaway because she knows my main account. I planned a trip to a particular tourist-friendly city I really like visiting because of the history and number of things to do while there. I know someone who lives in the area, and when I mentioned I was planning to spend a few days there, it was suggested that I stay in her guest room to save on hotel costs. Now this friend can be a little flaky, so I didn't cancel my reservation at the hotel as I didn't prepay and could cancel later. I didn't tell her that though. Fast forward to a week before the trip and she tells me she's not feeling mentally able to have someone stay with her. She's feeling anxious, so she wants to be alone and tells me not to come. I took that to mean that I couldn't stay with her, which was fine. I still had my hotel reservation, and since it was in the city center, it would be more convenient location-wise anyway. I fly into the city and get an Uber to my hotel, then get settled. I texted her and asked her how she was feeling that day. She said she was okay and not feeling very anxious that particular day. So I texted back, "That's great! I'm glad you're having a good day. Do you feel like going to get dinner tonight? If not, that's all right. I thought it would be nice to catch up while I'm here, but I understand if you don't feel up to it. Just let me know." A few minutes later, she calls me and immediately starts screaming or shrieking at me that she had told me not to come, and that I had no right to be there or to put her in the position of having to entertain when she doesn't want to. I calmly told her I didn't expect her to entertain me at all if she didn't want to, and that I was perfectly happy to explore by myself each day and relax in my hotel every night. No obligation for her to even see me if she didn't want to. She yelled at me again that I was a horrible person for invading her privacy and coming to the city when she told me not to. I responded that whether or not I'd stayed with her or even saw her wasn't a factor in my decision to visit the city for a long weekend. I was in a hotel and happy to be there so I could come and go as I please. She's now doing some thinking about our friendship and deciding whether she can remain friends with someone who goes against her wishes like that. Yeah, I don't think she really needs to put much thought into that because I'm done with the friendship myself. I don't need a friend who tries to act like she can keep a person from visiting a tourist-heavy city just because she doesn't want to see them. The entitlement she's shown is pretty alarming. Expecting someone to cancel a trip they planned without you even being a factor. Wow. Seamus tells me that OP should dump this so-called friend faster than a bowl of mayonnaise-based potato salad that has been left out all day on a sunny picnic table. And I agree with him. Having said that, let's check out this next one where the manager's wife tries to use her position to get entitled priority. This one is from Fed Up Cat, and it's called, Do You Know Who I Am? This morning, I went to my local big box store to pick up a couple of things. I park, go inside, and discover that there are no electric carts. I have major mobility issues as a result of degenerative disc disease and breathing issues. My disability, when I am standing still or sitting, is not obvious. But if you see me on the move, you immediately know that I am struggling just to stand upright and put one foot in front of the other. Since I had walked in from the parking lot, even at a snail's pace, my weakened back is ready to kick my butt into the next week, and my legs have turned to jelly. I spoke to the greeter inside and asked if he knew if there were any electric carts on the other side, and that I wasn't able to walk all the way down there to check myself. The elderly man got on his walkie-talkie and spoke to the greeter at the second entrance, who said that she would bring one to me if I didn't mind waiting a couple of minutes. I thanked the man and took a seat on a metal bench in the cart area, grateful to be able to give my back a rest. That's when she walked in. Dun dun dun. G1 equals greeter, a nice elderly gentleman and my hero. K equals Karen, about 30-ish, healthy, very fit, and hilariously confused. G2, greeter from the other side of the store. PO, police officer. M, manager, highly embarrassed. Me, a 58-year-old in a 120-year-old body. Yikes. Karen comes strolling into the cart area. She's wearing tight pink capri leggings, a pink tank top with some cartoon on the front, flip-flops, blonde hair, and a messy bun on top of her head, enough jewelry to open her own store, and sporting a healthy bronze tan. In comparison, I probably looked like a homeless bag lady in my very loose-fitting black leggings, oversized green t-shirt, short grain hair that's probably sticking up in several places, and flat white skin. Karen scans the cart area before marching up to Greeter 1. Karen, where are the scooters? Greeter 1, I can check to see if there are any on the other side. Karen, why aren't there any scooters here? Greeter 1, depends on where they get dropped off or who brings them in from the parking lot. Karen, unbelievable. Get me a scooter. Greeter 1, looks this woman up and down. The scooters, ma'am, are mobility carts for our disabled customers. Karen scoffs and rolls her eyes. They are for whoever wants to use them, and I'm tired and in a hurry. I don't have time to walk all the way to the back of the store for what I need. Just get me a scooter. Greeter 1 looks to his left and sees that Greeter 2 is bringing the electric cart that I had requested and shakes his head. He knows what's coming, and so do I. So I struggle to my feet and start heading in Greeter 2's direction, hoping to just get my cart and do my shopping without having to fight Karen for it. No such luck. I'm too slow, breathing too hard, and my legs have failed to cooperate. Karen spots Greeter 2 and me and begins to run past me to jump onto the cart. Greeter 2 tells her that the carts are for the disabled and points at me. She continues to drive the cart toward me. I stop. Karen makes it to the cart and takes a hold of the handle while trying to hip bump Greeter 2 off the seat, but Greeter 2 continues to move the cart forward. She pulls up to me, placing me on the opposite side of the cart from Karen. Karen to Greeter 2. Get off the scooter, beach! Greeter 2. Ma'am, are you handicapped? Karen, indignant. Of course not. Greeter 2. Then you aren't getting this cart. Greeter 2 gets off the cart on Karen's side so that Karen has to move, but allowing me to get on from the other side. Karen, unbelievable! Do you know who I am? Well, do you know who I am? Greeter 2 shakes her head. Greeter 1 now has this look of pure horror on his face. Greeter 1, oh my goodness, ma'am, I'm so sorry. Please, please come with me. Let me help you. Greeter 1 ushers her over to the metal bench where I had been sitting and tells her to sit right there and he will be right back. He heads out the doors toward the parking lot. Karen sits there with a smug, self-righteous look on her face like she won, and I am going to be in trouble for taking her cart because she is just that important. I am sitting on the cart talking to Greeter 2, who was apologizing to me and telling me that they always seem to have issues with people who just want to ride the carts because they are just too lazy to walk around the store. Then Greeter 1 comes back inside with the police officer who was stationed in his car just outside. Greeter 1 looked at me and Greeter 2 and winked as the police officer knelt down in front of Karen. Police officer. Ma'am, I'm a police officer. Are you okay? Karen, she's smug, but she's angry. No, these buttholes don't know who I am. I should be given priority when getting a scooter. Police officer, his voice is gentle and soothing, as if he were speaking to a traumatized child. These are not scooters. These are motorized carts for disabled customers. You do know the difference between a scooter and a disability cart, right? Karen. Give me a break. It's a scooter, for Christ's sake. Oh my God, she screeched. Doesn't anybody here know who I am? Police officer. Ma'am, do you know who you are? Karen sat there like a fish out of water, trying to figure out what he was talking about. Police officer to greeter 1. Get the manager on duty to call for an ambulance. Greeter 1 begins to walk away toward customer service desk. Oh, and have him tell the paramedics to bring a straitjacket, just in case. Karen. What? I don't need an ambulance. I just want my scooter. I'm not crazy. I'm not. I want my scooter. Police officer. Ma'am, it's just a precaution. Something we do anytime a person doesn't know who they are. Karen. I know who I am. I do. Karen spots the manager walking up with greeter 1. I'm his wife. The manager stops in his tracks and glares at Karen. The look of angry disappointment and disgust was hot enough to melt diamonds. He looked like he was either going to explode or he was going to pick this woman up and physically throw her across the store. Either way, I wanted to watch. Manager. Again, Karen? Karen lowered her head. Thank you, officer. I'll take it from here. He grabbed Karen by the wrist and pulled her toward the office behind the customer service counter. How dare you come to my place of work and treat my staff and customers this way? I've warned you several times already that being my wife does not entitle you to special treatment. Karen, whining. But I just wanted a scooter. Manager. You are not disabled, Karen. Lazy is not a disability. But apparently stupid is. Slam! The door to his office banged shut. We continued to hear shouting, but couldn't make out any of the words. Greeter 1, greeter 2, and I just stood there, trying not to laugh. The police officer went up to greeter 1 and shook his hand and thanked him for letting him play along, saying that was the most fun he'd had all day. I got to shop on my scooter with a smile on my face. You know, I come across a story like this one, and it makes me appreciate my wife and the relationship that we have just a little more, and I thought that wasn't possible. This one is from Bubblegummy B-word that I can't really say for fear of being demonetized, and it's called, I Want a Refund for Something I Haven't Bought. OP states, sorry, I'm on a mobile and not a great storyteller, so it may not be a great read. Anyway, on to the story. Unfortunately, I wasn't present during the sighting of the Karen specimen, but I heard the story from one of my coworkers. I work at a fast food place and we offer refillable drinks. Basically, you purchase an empty cup and fill it with anything you want as long as you're in the restaurant. This lady, in quotation marks, bought 2 drinks with her meal and one of my coworkers gave her 3 cups by mistake. So, 1 extra. So a normal person would, A, say they got 1 too many and give it back so we can throw it away. B, use the extra free one too. C, throw it in the trash as they don't need it. Well, this lady was not a normal person. She demanded a refund for the cup she didn't buy. The manager was called to deal with her, but didn't achieve much. Manager. I'm sorry, madam, but we can't refund you for something you didn't buy. You can either use it, throw it away if you don't want it, or give it to me so we can utilize it. Karen. No, I have a product worth $2. Approximately, I'm not in America, so I want $2 for it. Manager. Ma'am, I can't give you money for something you didn't purchase. Please give it back and we'll utilize it. Karen. No, you need to give me my money. It's worth $2 and I want $2. Can't you understand? I'm a teacher. I teach the lot like you. The manager's now angry. Well, you certainly don't teach anyone like me because I graduated years ago. I physically cannot refund you for something you didn't buy. One of my coworkers made a mistake giving you an extra cup, but if you don't want to give it back so we can throw it away, there's nothing I can do to help you. Well then, Your coworkers need to work it out between themselves who's going to buy it from me. I want my $2. Coworker to the manager. Don't talk to this lady. It's not worth it. Manager. Ma'am, it's us who's at a loss by you getting an extra cup. I'm not going to buy it from you. The price we pay the producer for an individual cup is far, far lower than what you demand, so we have no business paying you to get it back. Please stop bothering my coworkers. My brain fried trying to comprehend this woman's stupidity, so I don't remember exactly how this encounter ended. I just feel bad for all the kids she teaches if she really is a teacher, and for the kid, maybe a grandchild, who she had with her that day, who had to listen to her making an idiot of herself in front of a small crowd. Bonus. A coworker was giving another person their order, and they also needed a refillable drink, so they needed to be given a cup. Customer. Please make sure it's not 2 cups. If this hadn't happened outside the USA, I would have been certain that this was a story about my 10th grade geometry teacher. Until next time, folks.